Are you a new rider thinking about owning one of these machines but can't decide on what to get? Well, lucky for you, by the end of this video, we will have reviewed the performance, what's great, what sucks, comfortability, and reliability of the 2024 Kawasaki Eliminator 450. Now there's a lot of videos out there about this bike, but I'm here to talk about my experience, what I have experienced riding this bike almost every day. This has become kind of like my daily rider. I still have a car, but I prefer to ride my bike. Now let's talk about why I bought this bike. When I was deciding on buying this bike or buying a bike, I wanted something that I can use daily, that is comfortable to ride, and low maintenance. Those were my three things that was more important to me when choosing a bike. Now, I was very torn between the Honda Rebel and the Kawasaki Eliminator. But at the end of the day, I decided to get the Kawasaki Eliminator. They're both kind of the same, but I find the Kawasaki Eliminator a little bit more appealing. Looks good to me. That's just my preference. But the main thing that I love about this bike is its low seat height. It looks clean. It's not trying too hard to be retro, because there's a lot of retro looking bikes out there. And the price, most importantly, the price. It's not gonna break the bank for a motorcycle, because at the end of the day, a motorcycle is kind of like a toy, I think, in my opinion. So under 7K MSRP, and then I think I paid about 8 to 9K out the door. That was hard to beat. I could have gone with a sports bike, because I do like sports bike, but I felt that since it was gonna be my first bike, I want something that's easy to learn, and something that I can get comfortable with over time. So now let's talk about the pros and the good stuff after riding this bike for a year. First of all, this bike is super light, super nimble, right? This bike is about 390 pounds, 385 to 390 pounds, wet and ready to ride. I can flick this thing around in traffic like it's a scooter, more powerful, more muscle to it. There's been plenty of times that I should have dropped this bike actually, but because it's so light, so easy to flick, like look at this, I was able to save it. So in my 1 year of riding, I've never dropped this bike. I've even made the mistake of slowing down to a stop, but my handlebar wasn't straight. So, and forced me to almost drop the bike. But because it's so light, so nimble. Another thing that's good about this bike is the fuel economy. I can get about 60 miles per gallon with this bike, especially with the economy nowadays. Like gas just keeps going up and then comes down and then goes back up again. And I don't think we'll ever see the day that gas prices are $1.50. That's as far as I can remember gas prices to be. But this bike, I've never spent over $10, never, to fill this bike up. The fuel tank is something liters. I'll put it right here. Boom. Because it's a 450 parallel twin, it rides so smooth. The progression of the power, it's just nice and smooth. It's not gonna scare anybody, especially if you're a new rider. It won't overwhelm you. It's something that you can build up from and learn from until you really get used to it. Now, just because it's a 450, it doesn't mean that it's slow, because I can comfortably get this thing to, the fastest I've gone with this thing is 115, but for me, that's way more than enough. Like more than enough to overtake somebody on the highway. If I need to get it in and out of situations, I can just get out of there, especially because this engine is the same engine as the Kawasaki Ninja 500, but it's just tuned for low end. If you're coming from a stop, you can just accelerate nice and fast. You don't have to wait until the higher RPMs. Most of its power is going to be low to mid-range. Speaking of RPMs, this bike can freaking rev all the way to 14k RPMs, right? Is that 14k? Yeah. Oh, I mean, it redlines at 11k, so you can rev it all the way to, yeah, you can redline this bike pretty high. So if you want it to scream, you can make it scream, if you know what I mean. Another thing that's great about this bike is the low seat height. As you can see, I am flat-footing this bike, no problem. And I'm significantly gigantic at a whopping 5'7". If you're a new rider or if you're just massive like me, this is an easy choice for me. And lastly, the way it looks. They didn't have the all black ones like in other countries. It wasn't available here, so I got the white one instead. I'm telling you, the amount of compliments I get from, not ladies, dudes, it's crazy. And they can't believe that it's a Kawasaki. You know, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, is that an Indian? Like a small Indian or like a custom Harley? No, it's a Kawasaki. It's a Japanese bike. And then it makes me feel good, you know, that people like my bike. Now let's talk about the bad stuff, the cons, the shit that no one talks about. And one of those things is going to be the suspension. I'm just going to tell you right now, suspension, mid, seat comfort after about 2 hours of continuous riding, mid. My tailbone freaking hates me after. When you go over 70 miles per hour, you can feel this thing vibrate like just a freaking vibrator, and I don't like it. I find that after an hour and a half of continuous riding, especially when I'm going above 70, my legs are numb because of all the vibration, and that usually prompts me to take a break, go to a gas station, and just recover for a bit until I continue on my ride. And the fourth thing is the aftermarket parts. Now, aftermarket parts to this day is a Kawasaki really needs to not neglect this bike for its aftermarket parts. Like a few days ago, I really wanted to get a sissy bar, a backrest for my bike, just so I can, you know, when I have a passenger, they're not really like uncomfortable after 30 minutes, because the passenger seat on this thing is not great. Worse than the rider seat, actually. That sucks. Finding aftermarket parts for this is like finding a rare Pokemon. Is it starting to rain? Okay, maintenance and durability. Well, this bike is just no drama. Maintenance is very chill. I've done about three oil changes since I've gotten this bike, and 2 of those I've done myself. Nothing really crazy, it's so simple. I'm actually due for my 3rd oil change on my own for this bike soon, so I'll put up a video on how to do that. Other thing that you need to consider is just cleaning the chain after 500 miles. Oil change is just 3,000 to 5,000 miles. That's how I go about it. But the basic stuff, you know, washing your bike, making sure everything is good. And that's the thing about Kawasaki or Japanese, you know, bikes. You can really rely on them to stay and last as long as you take care of it. You know, I'm not a mechanic or even close to being a mechanic, but I'm trying to learn on my own so that I can, you know, save money, because this economy, man. But I've never had any troubles doing my own oil change, cleaning my own chain, washing my own bike. You know, I look forward to doing other things for this bike, like maintenance wise, so that I can learn. But other than that, since I got this bike, there's been no check engine lights, no weird issues, electrical issues, nothing like that. Yeah, knock on wood. Next is going to be real life ownership and daily use. Okay, so what is it like riding the Eliminator? This thing can literally do whatever it is you want. I've taken this off-roading also, and that was not a problem. You know, commuting, fun. Weekend rides, even better. Group rides, it can keep up. It starts every single time. I love taking this out more than my car, actually. I've ridden this thing in the rain. Might be another one today. And oh my gosh, it's a ship. Yes, I've ridden this thing in the rain, in the heat, even during the winter when a little bit of snow, a little bit of wetness. ice. You don't have to do those though. I was a new rider, so I really wanted to ride, and I was like, you know what? Let's thug it out. This is basically my main ride. Like I said before, it's very light, very nimble. So bumper to bumper traffic, not a problem. You can just slap on a backpack and enjoy your ride. Mods that I've done to this bike and what I recommend. First of all, first and foremost, the exhaust. Get an exhaust, because the stock exhaust for this bike was trash. That thing was so quiet. Like, my friend took it around the block when I first got it, and I didn't even hear him come back. If you have to get a mod first, get an exhaust. Now, the exhaust I have for this is not really for this bike, because aftermarket parts sucks, and the other exhausts were too damn expensive. So what I did was I got an exhaust that was built for the Honda Rebel, and guess what? It fit. Recently I just got the backrest for my passenger. I got these bar end mirrors because I didn't like the stock mirrors, my shoulders, and you know, I'm a pretty wide guy, so my boulder shoulders were blocking the view. So I was like, you know what? I can't do this. I need to get the bar end mirrors so that I can see. LED lights, they're okay. They're a little thick and plasticky, but that's fine. That's about it for my mods. Oh, and the grips. I changed the grips, and I'm probably gonna change them again because these sucks. Again, aftermarket parts. Now, would I buy this bike again? Probably. If I was to do it again, I would definitely buy this bike again. Knowing what I know now, I would definitely get this bike again. I would probably wait to get it from someone on Facebook Marketplace, something that's used rather than new. As a new rider, I was constantly afraid to ride it because I was like, I don't want to drop it. I don't have any crash guards or anything to protect it. If I drop it, it's done, over with. So buy a used one or just buy crash guards. So I never had to buy crash guards. I just honestly just practiced, got more confident, practice some more, and to this day I still practice. Now, the bike is not for flexing to your friends. It's not the fastest. Every time I go for a ride, I still look forward to it. I still use all the power from this bike that this bike can handle. And if I'm gonna upgrade to another bike, I'll probably keep this as my daily, as my cruising around town, going for short trips. As of right now, I'm okay with this bike. You know, this bike has about 40 to 50 horsepower, and it does whatever I need it to do. So that's about it. After 12 months of riding it, I would definitely buy this bike again, but used if I could do it again. It's reliable, responsive, and it's fun. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my 1-year review. If you're riding an Eliminator or thinking about getting one, drop a comment down below. Subscribe for more content. Let me know if I missed anything, or if you have questions, just comment it down below. I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, ride safe, stay hard. Ride safe, stay blessed.